Does everybody remember a time when books were awesome? You'd go to the bookstore and to find, the latest Star Wars or R.A. Salvatore book, The Adventures of Drizzt Stewart. And, I always wanted to be a writer. And when I was in third grade, I had pages filled with just ideas, and then all of a sudden Disney bought Star Wars, and every book that I knew and loved was just put by the wayside. It was disheartening and saddening. So what did I decide to do? I decided to write my own. I took the ideas from when I was in third grade. I made it into a coherent story, put in a lot of characters, a lot of character development, and I went to town. And in 6 months, I finished Demon Chronicles: The Chaos Prophecy. I didn't know what to do with it, and I was looking for a publisher, and then I found one. A place called Page Publishing. They contacted me, and because I had a book, and I said, hey, how do I get published? And they said, oh, we'll do it. What they didn't tell me, though, at the time, was how much it was going to cost me. You see, they're a vanity press, and over the course of 2 or 3 years, I paid $3,584 to get my book published. The thing is, when it was out, a lot of people complained to me saying that there were too many typos and there was too many errors, and even though the story was good. And I never had any complaints about the stories. It was just too many distracting typos. So I contacted them again, and I asked if I could, re-edit the book. And they said, yes, I could, but it was going to cost me $75. So I paid the $75, and I re-edited the book. And Page Publishing they guaranteed me a full copy edit before it was even published. The thing is, the editors there are just atrocious, and I argued with them, and I said, look, I signed a waiver, and I said I'll do the corrections myself. And they said, okay, but you have to put it in a certain format. So I put it in their format. I did, page number, paragraph number, line number, and what needed to be fixed. And I had pages and pages of this stuff. So another 6 months goes by, and they republished it with the quote-unquote corrections that I made, and we got it back. And then as we were reading through it, this new updated version, we were finding even more errors than what were in it before. And so I said, there's something wrong here. There's still a lot of typos and a lot of errors. And so I paid another $75 to have it re-edited. And it's taken me 2 years to get the re-edits done, because Page Publishing on their end has been sabotaging it. This is just some of the things. Line 4 issue, insert his after back of, Page Publishing error. Delete face up through magic ball, Page Publishing error. Delete A after big, Page Publishing. Issue when to on as, Page Publishing. I mean, I could go on and on and on. The thing is, we didn't keep track of what we had changed compared to what they had changed. So finally we did, and like half of the corrections that we had to make were because of them. And I had to keep recorrecting the book every time I got it. I mean, I am on literally my 7th iteration. I mean, I have literally 7 different copies of this book trying to get it up to par because of, I would say I'm not sure if it's incompetency or if it's, just because of they just want to sabotage it, which I'm not sure which it is, if it's incompetence or if it's just sabotage. And at this point, I'm pretty sure it's just sabotage, because every time I would send them a copy and they would quote unquote correct it, I would come back and I would have pages of their edits inside of it, and they would not be my edits. And as you can see, it says full copy edit, and this is complete bubkiss. I mean, this is not true at all. If you go onto Amazon, and this is like one of the biggest ones that I found, but right in the very beginning, the prologue, the Kingdom of Feldnar had thrived for years, and most recently had withstood its longest patch of peace. Withstood its longest patch of peace does not make any sense. And the thing is, I actually bought a copy of this book, and it does not get better. This should not have been published the way it was. There's inconsistencies everywhere. Entire paragraphs don't make sense. Word structure is non-existent. And as I kept looking, I found this that they published. Like, what the heck is... Alright, so there's Daphne on the cover? No, they published a fan fiction, which is illegal by federal law. I mean, she's even... The author is even saying, oh, alright, there's possible new chapters of Scooby-Doo franchise. I played mystery. Oh, this is just great. Original story is in a fan fiction world, and people thought it was wrong. A group from England who thought they were fan fiction police told me my ideas for stories were no good and I should never write again. This is just chapter 1. Mystique, tall, shadowy figure. Batman. Batman, Extra Dimension. Yeah, so I believe Warner Brothers owns both Batman, because they own DC, and they also own Scooby-Doo, so Warner Brothers is probably going to be contacting pretty soon. So what I recommend to people is stay away from page publishing. I'm already out $4,000. I actually wrote a letter to the Business Consumer Alliance, and this is the correspondence that I received back. In my last email, I sent 2 examples where page publishing made errors to my book. I could have included like probably about 100 that I did not authorize. I was needed to reread and re-edit Demon Chronicles to Chaos Prophecy every time I received it from page publishing over the last 2 years. Page publishing has been purposely sabotaging my book, which is true, so that it would never see the light of day, and now it won't. I spent over $4,000 between paying page publishing for their full copy edit, a spot at GraniteCon that I had to cancel and was told that there is no reimbursements. I also had to cancel not 1 but 2 book signings, not to mention pay for reviews on online book club. I'm not frustrated, I'm downright furious. Now this is what they received yesterday. I got this email. I've discussed Republic with page publishing. This is from the Business Consumer Alliance. Here's their final response. Page publishing is not in the business of sabotaging our authors' books. Yes, they are. Making an assertion like that is ridiculous and unfounded. If you look at any book that they have published, it's atrocious. You can find many typos and errors on even the very first page. I've even heard of people saying that there are even typos in the, the preface or the even in the copyright section. As noted in the previous response, the author reviewed and approved the edit, page design, cover design, and press release that Page Publishing completed. Yes and no. I mean, I've been so frustrated that I just said, screw it, just get it out there, and it's still a mess. We had this reviewed and approved book on the market in 6 months. Yeah, which I had to pull, and I paid them another $75, not once but twice. He requested to do a revision of the book. Yes, and we agreed to do the revision even though we are not contractually obligated to do so. Yes, actually they are. We will immediately remit the check. So they're taking my royalties. We will remit the check for his royalties that he earned. So even after paying them, at least close to $4,000, they're not even going to give me my royalty check, which wasn't much. It was like $90 or something like that. But it still would have been nice to get something for my for $4,000 that I paid in. But I'm not getting anything from Page Publishing. Yeah, I can publish the book elsewhere, but finding a publisher is not easy. So my book is going to be in constant mothball. I don't know really what to do with it. I mean, my contract expired and they dropped me like a bad habit. So any would-be author, do not use Page Publishing. If they send you or solicit you, ignore emails, ignore phone calls, do not go with them. They will take you for a ride. They will give you $0 and for your investment. You can self-publish. I would recommend self-publishing. It would be a heck of a lot cheaper than $3,000 or $4,000. You can go online, search for a good copy editor, a true editor. I've seen some that will say $800 per book, depending on length, up to like $1,200, and then spend $500 minimum on your front cover, and you will have just as good a quality, if not better, than what Page Publishing offers for less than half of what the cost would be. So right now I have no idea what I'm going to do with my book. I do own the rights to it, which is nice, but there are only like 25 copies in the world at this point, and I would have been competing with Star Wars and Harry Potter because my genre kind of bridges the two. Everybody who's read it thinks it's great, but like I said, there was a lot of typos and errors in it. Not my fault. Absolutely not my fault that there were typos and errors in it. I'm very upset at this point because I'm out $4,000 and I don't have a book on the market anymore. I'm actually thinking about maybe giving it to either Ethan Van Sciver or one of the guys at Comicsgate, using the book material and turning it into a comic series. I think it would be really awesome as a graphic novel. But I'm almost actually finished the sequel. I have like maybe a chapter to do left to write, and so I have 2 books that I could actually publish right now. And then I have a third that I started with NaNoWriMo last year, and I'm probably 76,000 words into that one now. Anyway, all you aspiring authors and writers, I wish you luck. Page Publishing is not a company to go with. Do not give them any money. If you do have a contract with Page Publishing, get out of it. Do not spend another dime on their joke of a vanity press, because that's what they are. They are a vanity press. They don't deserve anything. They don't. Anyway, good luck. Don't make the same mistake I did. look for either an actual publisher or self-publish, one of the two.